All right, so here's our collection of Hondas. There's 8 of them. And they're not all different models. I'll give a little bit of history on them and how we ended up with 3 3813s. So we'll start with this H3013. Where does it say it? Right there. You can see hydrostatic. There's no gears there. I think there was a gear one. This was built between 1989 and 1992. I'm not sure which one this is, what model year. Be about 13 horsepower. 13 in the model number probably represents that. 388cc 1-cylinder air-cooled engine. Belt-driven hydrostatic transmission with a 38-inch deck. There you can see 38. Let's look under here. This one's easy to service because you just do that. Yeah, a little 1-cylinder. That's a small fuel tank. 0.7 gallon gas tank. Yeah, belt-driven hydrostat. So like right here you can see the belt that drives it. Where the other Hondas, all of these except for one are going to be shaft drive. This one I got for 50 bucks, so I mean, can you really go wrong? And I have other videos on it, so if you want to hear it run, I'm just going to kind of do a lowdown on what's here, and then there'll be other videos of them running because some of these don't have very good batteries. So here we have 3 3813s. You can see on the side a 2-cylinder liquid cooled. Which one's got the best representation of the engine? How about this guy? How do we end up with 3? Well, there was 2 of them listed on Craigslist a few years ago, and it was basically this one. We actually had to go to an airplane hangar. That's where they were located. So one was being used. I think it was this one. This one was in the back more. It was more of a parts machine, but we got it running. This one you can see it's missing some stuff, but it is complete enough that it'll run. You can see what do we have that's missing? I thought there was something in this, or we put it back. I don't remember. I know I don't have the shock absorber on the gear shift. This one's more complete. This one has the shock absorber. Now there's a shock absorber on the gear shift here. Let's see if you can see it. I don't think you can see it. And what it does is this is basically like a regular clutch 5-speed, but it's got this Honda mat. So the 3813 was built between 1985 and 89. 13 horsepower, hence the name. The 1.88 gallon gas tank. Engines were really unique on these. Overhead cam, probably the only lawnmower with that. I don't know. Definitely wasn't common. Definitely don't see it in Briggs and stuff. Full pressure lubrication, liquid cooled. Timing belt on these. But one of the big problems with these is mice go in here. There's actually an opening, and they get in the cover and they make a nest in there, and then when you start it, it screws the timing up. The good thing is it's a non-interference engine, so it won't damage itself. It'll just not run. You know, it won't run valves into the piston or anything like that. So Honda mat is mechanical auto clutch transmission, and I'll get to that in a second. And has a shaft driven 5-speed gearbox, so it runs a shaft with rubber on each end that damps it right from the flywheel all the way to the back tranny, and it goes right in here is the drive shaft. These would work really good for like pulling like sweepers, trailers, stuff that pulls hard, because you got direct drive, you don't have a belt to slip. So the mechanical auto clutch transmission, it's got a damper in here. It's basically a shock absorber, and what it does is it engages the clutch slowly, so you can go like this. You can actually push your clutch in here and it'll stop the machine. Push the clutch in, or just by going like this, it'll stop you. So you can actually go like this and it'll engage it slowly, and then when you want to go faster, you can just do that and it'll engage it slowly. Same in reverse. It's got a they call it a damper, but it's just like a shock absorber that engages it slowly. It goes out slow, so that way you don't get that jolt. But a lot of people would take that off. So that way you just have like direct. Yeah, a little radiator up in the front. This one, the lights work. Now, how do we end up with 3? He had 2 for sale in his ad. I bought them both. It was these 2, and he's like, "Hey, you interested in another one?" I got another one. Well, this one was his dad's, and he used that until they parked it in the garage. It was like under a shelf, and it's pretty much the way you see it. The lights work on it. It is. The tires were flat, stuff like that. I think I paid $100 for each one, so like $300 for all 3, which isn't the worst, I don't think. And then let's see, this one, the one I had under the shelf, the mice made the nest in there, so it wouldn't run. So I fixed that. That was before doing YouTube. Otherwise, I would get that filmed, how to fix that. I put a new timing belt on it. You can get the timing belts yet. They're not real expensive. I think it's like 40 bucks or something. I ended up selling one to my dad and one to my brother, just so I don't have to have, 3 of them in possession. This one being the worst one of the 3, because it was more of a parts model, but really it's really not that much of a parts model anymore. So it had the hood and everything. And I can find stuff that's robbed off too, but there isn't much. I don't remember anymore which one had mice nests. I just know that this one did, the one that I did. I'm thinking my dad's did not. Next we have 2 4514s. I bought this one. This would be my first Honda. I bought my first one. I had to go to Michigan for it, Upper Michigan. So it's actually sounds worse than it is. It's like 2 hours away. If you look at like where Menominee is, it's not real high up. And didn't run. So I got it for 50 bucks. So can you go wrong? It runs now. Same thing. Mice made a nest in the timing cover. It was the evolution of the 3813. Let's look at them both. Then there's the 18 on the end. So the 4514 was built between 1990 and 1998. So basically 3813 ended in 89, and 4514 picked up the year after as a newer model. Be 14 horsepower, again with the model number. You get a 38-inch 2-blade deck or a 42-inch 3-blade deck on this. 2.38 gallon gas tank, 358cc engine. So same size engine cc wise as the 3813, that being a 358cc as well. Well, they must have did something to it to increase it. Very similar in design. That being a 5-speed, this is a hydrostatic. So you just got your, infinitely variable Here's mowing and here's transport mode. But you can still mow in transport mode if the grass isn't very tall. They do have fairly decent power. Shaft drive to the back, driving the hydrostatic. And this is actually the first one I got, and then, well, one of these is my dad. I sold to him because I found one. I wanted 50 bucks for it, and then actually I don't know which one's which. This is my dad's. This is the one I bought after. This is my first one here. This was my first one because it was 50 bucks. That was the one I went to Michigan for. And then if the guy would have told me he had another Honda, I would have came with the trailer. But he had this one in the yard too. So then like a next day or whatever it was, I went back and get this one for 50 bucks. Since he had bought a different mower. So he had those two Hondas. And I really like this thing. The only thing wrong with it when I got it is the front tires would go soft, and I put tubes in them, so now they're good. It's a nice little machine. And the only thing with it is you ain't gonna do a lot of lawn without fueling up, because that gas tank goes quick. So this guy here, I gotta get the deck put on it, but otherwise it's pretty decent. Runs good. You can see differences here. You can see the carb location and everything. The throttle is similar. This is kind of similar in design, but where they're coming with a neck for the air. This one just runs a wider thing. This is similar. I think your water pump. Well, the water pump is in by the timing cover. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the water pump's in. Yeah, right here. That's run off the timing belt. But yeah, you can see that they're very similar. You see this here, the screen for protecting it. Same thing. Very similar in design. You can tell it was just an evolution of this dipstick. They relocated this over here. But really, other than that, not a lot of changes. Just made it a little bit better. The air cleaner is definitely different. This has got an easier access. This, you just take these two wing nuts off, and then it's right in here, like that size. This one you just take the clips off. And then that one sucks from where does it suck from? Is it in here? I don't know where it sucks from. Right here, I think. Yeah, right here. This one's got a thing that sucks right here. Yeah, right here it goes up. But I almost think that would think that this would get more grass in it here than what this would, because it's under the hood. But I don't know. And I'm gonna go back to this one in a bit. So that's actually the newest one. Here's the 4518. 4518 was built in 1991 to 1998, so that would have been built with the 4514, so you could get either one. It'd be 18 horsepower. This would have a 634cc engine, 2-cylinder. Those are 2 cylinders, by the way, from the 3813 all the way to the 4514. 2.38 gallon gas tanks, the same as the 4514s. 38, 42, or 46 inch deck. Shaft driven hydrostatic. It's very similar, it's a little bit more power, but if you look at this one, the design is a lot different. Just look at, you got, this is aluminum up here, your air cleaner is over here, your carbs on this side, spark plugs over here, so totally different engine setup. You got this big shroud for the exhaust. So that's quite a bit different, the way that that's designed. Your oil filter on this one is over here, which would be your left side when sitting on it. On here it's on the right side. So a lot different on those two models. This one runs and cuts. What this one does need is the tranny leaks axle seal. My dad wants me to work on it, so I should probably do that. Maybe this winter project or something. I gotta pull the axle. There's actually let's see if we can see it here. One side, I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it. One side has this side has just basically a more of the housing coming out to hold the axle, and I think that's the side that's leaking. I think I just have to pull that off and then put a new seal in it, but I would do both seals because you only do one, the other one's gonna fail. Okay, now this one, I just did a video not long ago on this. This is the 4118, built between 1998 and 2001, so that's took over right after the 4518s and 14s ended. Honda came out with these GXV 610 and 620 engines, and they wanted to showcase them in a Mower, so they threw it in. This was actually built by John Deere. He was same as like a LX 188, very similar. If you look up an LX 188 John Deere, this panel is the same, but it's in green. This is the same style here. The deck is very similar, where it's got like this rod going here, and the wheels are similar. The seat is different, the color obviously, and the hood is different, and the engine. The back tough torque is the same, should be the same. And actually this is basically the same spot and the same everything. Fuel tank, same spot, probably the same thing. Parking brake, dash layout, stuff like that. That's the same. I did do a video on comparing the two, if you want to find that. So it's 18 horse. The 4120 is a 20 horse. The 614 cc's GXV 610. 2-cylinder air cooled. Built by John Deere in the Horicon, Wisconsin plant. 2.5 gallon gas tank. This one's got 38-inch deck. I don't think you can get a bigger deck on this 4118. But the 4120 that uses a 20 horse, you could get a 48-inch deck as well. And this thing I could easily handle a bigger deck, but what do you do? This one went a little ways to get it, and if you watch my video I did last on it, it was a pain in the butt to figure out what was wrong with it, but I got it. Electric clutch on here. So it's kind of the progression of the Hondas, of what we have. I know they have a rider right now, like overseas in Britain and Europe and whatever, it has a bagger in the back, but they don't make any riders here. In fact, their push mowers, their gas ones, are gone, or at least they were. But I think it's cool to take a $50 mower and get it running. I mean, get a lot of satisfaction out of that, you know. I'll shut some of these hoods because it's going to rain. But I think it's amazing that these things even will run anymore, because I mean, they're just lawnmowers. And shit, these were, how old are they? 25, 35 years old, depending on what, could be 40, depending on which year they were built. I should actually check the serial numbers and see which ones, and get the actual years of them. I didn't do that. That takes time to look that stuff up. Do you like small engine projects? Taking a non-runner and bringing it back to life? Do you like seeing and hearing the more rare stuff like Yamaha and Honda riding mowers? Do you like everything small engines? If so, you can show me support by hitting that thumbs up or thumbs down if you didn't like it. Leave a comment. Consider subscribing. It's free. YouTube will notify you when I release a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.